Hey everyone, I've got a Kickstarter special that I want to share with you right now because the game is live right now and you should go and check it out. The game is called Tome, the Light Edition, and it's a trick-taking game with a twist. So what that means is you have 4 different suits or spells. There's the wind, earth, fire, and water. And each of these suits have 6 cards in them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an F for flux. And then there are also these white bordered spells that don't count as a suit but could be super powerful when played at the right time. So what players are going to do? They're going to sit across the table from their partner in a 4-player game. And like most trick-taking games, you're going to work together. So whichever one you or your partner get the trick, you win the hand, you're going to get the point for your team. So players will be dealt out 6 cards after shuffling all of those cards together, the 6 cards in the 4 suits, and then those 6 white bordered cards. And then there's going to be 6 cards left that you put in the center of the table. And this is where the game is really cool. You flip over the card from the deck, and that essentially is your trump card. That's your title spell. At the end of the round, once players have in turn order played a card, a spell from their hand, and done the actions on it, you're going to evaluate who has the highest number card if none of the cards match the title spell. But if someone plays a card that matches the title spell, let's say it's blue, then the player or players who played a blue card with the highest value wins that hand. There are so many cool things that can happen on your turn that changes who's actually in the lead, that changes who might win a particular hand, and might even change the title spell itself. So every time you play, every round you play, things are going to surprise you. And that's that twist, right? So this is trick-taking, but there's a twist with how those white bordered cards function because they're higher than any non-trump spell. So if you don't match the title card, those white cards are going to be the highest number, and so forth. This game, while it's so slim in the deck, has so much versatility. I'm surprised by how well the 4-player game with partners worked and how balanced it was. And then when I tried a 3-player game in the individual play, I was shocked at how balanced it was there too, and how different and interesting the game felt while still playing with the exact same cards, right? The same spells. Now there's a really cool rule about chaining that you do when you play individual or with teams, and that's what makes this game really fun too. So when a player places a spell card down on the table, let's say it's the first player that goes, and they play a blue card, the next player, if they want to use the word text at the bottom of their card, needs to match that. So they need to chain onto the blue card to get the bonus, which is the text at the bottom. Now if they don't, let's say they play a purple card next, they get to play the card down and it's just fine, there's no penalty, other than they can't do what the words say. And then from that point on, everyone else in the round playing their cards are able to play their cards, and there's no chains, there's no negative, there's no penalty, just for the very first player that goes. Now when you're playing in partners, that makes a lot of sense because one player goes and the opponent is going to go next because you alternate the players. So you're always sitting across the table from your partner. And so if the next player doesn't follow the suit of the start player or the player who plays the very first non-white bordered card, they're going to have a penalty. It's a slight penalty, but it's important. I think that Tome has a lot to offer, again, with such a slim deck. This does offer trick-taking, but every time you play, it's going to be different, and the combinations of spells and the text ability for each card is so interesting and dynamic. I think Tome will offer players a strategic opportunity to play trick-taking but with just a little bit of difference that makes all the difference. Please check out Tome on Kickstarter and see if it's a fit for you, because I think it's got so much to offer for 3 and 4 players, either playing in teams or individually. Let me know what you think in the comments section below if you're excited for Tome, and check out all the details in the description for how to find Tome and how to jump into that Kickstarter.